Ryan Little.
This is funny. Look at that! I just busted these shoes open. Hey everyone, it's your girl Rihanna back with another video. I am so excited to film this video because it's all about pointe shoes and I love videos about pointe shoes. I could just watch them all day. But yes, today I'm going to be talking about all of the pointe shoes that I have and my entire collection and give you a little review of the pointe shoes that I've tried. But of course, a little disclaimer, not everyone's feet are the same, so you might not have the same experience as me, but these are just my opinion and my experience, so yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so first a little background information on me. I've been on pointe for 6 years and I got on pointe when I was 12 years old. So the way my studio did it, once you hit the level that you could go on pointe, during the summer intensive, our artistic director would pull us one by one and tell us if we could go on pointe or not. I remember I was one of the last people to get on pointe just because I came late during that summer, and I remember it was just me and maybe 2 or 3 other people who hadn't been told to go on pointe yet. So I remember after my ballet class that day, my artistic director pulled me and my friend Grace into her office. She was acting as if she wasn't sure. She was like, oh, I don't know. And then she was like, just kidding guys, you guys are ready for pointe. And I was so ecstatic. I was so excited. Every little dancer dreams of getting her pointe shoes one day, and it is such an exciting experience. So yes, and that's where my pointe journey started. Surprisingly, I only have about 18 pairs, including the pairs that I'm using right now. I know that's crazy for me being on pointe for 6 years and only having 18 pairs. I should have like 50 by now. But I've had a history of not really killing shoes that quickly. I don't really have a high arch, but I do have like flexible ankles. So I guess maybe that's why I don't really kill shoes that quickly, because I don't have an arch. But I would say I have pretty strong feet. Maybe not right now because I just got surgery, but I'd say for the most part I have pretty strong feet. So yeah, let's get into the pointe shoes. So where else to start than my first pair of pointe shoes? So these are Bloch Serenades. So my feet are irregularly shaped for pointe shoes. I have really small feet. They're a street shoe size 5, but they're also really wide. So after my director told me that I could go on pointe, I went to a bunch of different dance shops, and every single pair they tried, the shank would always twist. And if you don't know what the shank is, this is the shank. And that still happens to me to this day. Every pair of shoes that I have, my pointe shoes twist. And just because of my irregularly shaped foot, so I always have to have a tight elastic. Since this is my first pair and I didn't know, this is a really big elastic, but now it's about, my elastic is about like here now to keep it from twisting. So I was going to these dance shops and bringing these pairs of pointe shoes back to my director to get approved, but every single pair that I brought in, she thought it didn't fit me and she wanted me to try to find a better pair. So then, kind of as a last resort, I went to a little dance shop in my area, and they didn't have that much of a selection of pointe shoes, but we did find these. And I brought them back to my director and she was still iffy about them. She gave me the choice of either returning them and going to a different shop or just sewing them. So because I was just so desperate to start dancing on pointe, I went with these. So these are my first pair of pointe shoes, and that ended up being a huge mistake because I absolutely hated these. These shoes did not fit me correctly at all. Don't make the same mistake I did. If you're new to pointe and you're looking for your first pair of shoes, definitely go to a dance store that has a huge selection of pointe shoes. And not like I did, where I went to a little small boutique where there was no selections, basically. But looking at these and knowing the pointe shoes that fit me now, this vamp, this is called the vamp, this is way too short. With the pointe shoes that I wear now, they go higher than this. I can also tell that these shoes are just way too narrow for me. I have pretty wide feet, so yeah, I remember just hating the way I felt in these shoes. Yeah, I just hated the way that I danced and looked in these shoes. The shank isn't even dead because I didn't dance in them for that long, because I hated dancing in them. So yeah, moral of the story, don't make the same mistakes I did. Obviously because I hated these shoes and I wanted a better fit for me, I switched my brand of pointe shoes. Okay, so after the nightmare of my first pointe shoes, I went to Russian Pointe Muses. So as you guys can see, I have quite a bit of pairs, and as you can see, they were well loved. I saw a professional dancer do this on YouTube, but I numbered my pointe shoes and I also put my initials on there. So these pointe shoes fit me much, much better than those Bloch Serenades. As you can see, I have 3 pairs of them, so I really loved them. As you can see, the box is much wider, and they're really dead. Yeah, the box is much wider and the vamp is much higher to fit my toes because I have pretty long toes. Oh my gosh, these pointe shoes are so dead. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't really remember having a complaint about these shoes. I just loved these shoes so much. I think I had these shoes for about a year, maybe longer than that, but then at some point I wanted a little bit of a change in shoes. So then I switched to another brand. So the next pair I tried were the Bloch Balance European. I wanted to try these shoes just because a lot of my friends at the time were wearing these shoes and I thought, why not give them a try? These are a pretty good fit for me. The box is really wide for my wide feet. The vamp pretty long. Anyways, and as you can see, I darned the tip of them. I used to darn my shoes because it would help me with balance and stuff. The only complaint that I had with these shoes is that block pointe shoes literally make your feet look like a block. Like that, I remember thinking these were my exact thoughts. Like I remember I just hated these shoes just because they made my feet look so wide and so just like a block. So anyways, after that experience, I went back to the Russian points for a little while, and then I decided to switch things up a little bit. Oh shoot. I'm about to drop all these. So for some reason, I wanted a little bit of change from the Russian Pointe Muses, so I decided to try Russian Pointe Rubins. And as you can see, I stayed on this shoe for a very long time. Also, in addition to numbering them, I also wrote down the shows that I did in them. So here I did Snow White in 2016. Good memories. So anyways, yes. I then switched to Russian Pointe Rubins, and I absolutely loved these shoes. As you guys can see, I even darned the tip. This was not a good darning job. This is better. But I absolutely love these shoes. As you can see, they were well loved. Shoes just fit me well, and I was dancing so well in them. Whoa. I really loved these shoes. I even did my first pas de deux on stage with these shoes. As you can see, I wrote them in. Look, I even wrote it in my shoe. It says Snow Paw Nutcracker 2018, my first paw on stage with Mark Harden. Mark is one of my best friends, and of course it was so exciting to do my first pas de deux on stage with him. I remember just feeling so beautiful and wearing my little white tutu as the Snow Queen. It was just such a good show. So yes, I loved everything about these shoes. They fit me really well, the box fit me really well, and the length fit me pretty well. But after doing snow paw in these pointe shoes, I realized that these shoes were just a little too hard for me. I don't know why it took me so long to realize that. Typically Russian brands like Russian Pointe and Grishko, their pointe shoes are incredibly hard. Like I said earlier, I don't really have a high arch, so it was kind of hard for me to get over my box in these shoes. It took me quite a while to get these shoes to where I wanted them to be. And I remember when I was doing snow paw on stage, like these shoes, they weren't like broken in all the way, and they weren't in my comfortable stage, if you know what I'm saying. And I remember just like running on stage and like feeling like a penguin because I couldn't like roll through my feet because like the shanks were just so hard. So then I decided to go to a bit softer shoe. So I said goodbye to Russian Pointe. So after Nutcracker, I realized that I wanted a bit of a softer shoe. So I decided to switch to Bloch Eurostretch, and I absolutely love these shoes. As you guys can see, I have about 4 pairs. Actually, as you can see, I have 1 single pair, and the other pair is actually here, and it's a decorated pointe shoe. Here's a little close-up of it. It is so beautiful. One of my friends, Jolena, made this for me for my senior nutcracker. Shout out to you, Jolena and Yami. I know you guys watch my videos. So anyways, yes, I absolutely love these shoes. I loved how like stretchy, obviously because it's called the Eurostretch. I just love how stretchy it was like when I was running on Demi Pointe. Like it was just so nice to walk around in and run around in, and they're just so comfortable for me. They made my feet look A1. I remember I was in Capelia rehearsal and I was wearing these shoes for the first time and I was like, damn, like my arches look good. Like I was feeling myself. But yeah, they gave my feet justice and they made them look damn good. So yeah, I wore these for my performance as Swanhilda. I wore these to the Washington Ballet Summer Intensive, and then also at ABT the year later. I wore these shoes for a pretty long time. But it's always but. At first these shoes lasted me like 2 to 3 months, which is normal for me. I know typically a ballerina goes through shoes like every like 1 or 2 weeks, but I started killing these shoes really fast, and these shoes are pretty expensive. These shoes were getting like incredibly soft to the point where I had to 3/4 shank my shoes. So look, see, I 3/4 shanked them and then I taped it right there to stop the rubbing. And then, this is funny. Look at that! I just busted these shoes open. This is when I realized like maybe these shoes are just a bit too soft for me. So I realized that the shoes were getting pretty soft for me, so I wanted to go to a slightly harder pair that wouldn't die as quickly. I also wanted to mention this, but before I wore the Bloch Eurostretch pointe shoes, I'd just been wearing ouch pouches in my pointe shoes with like toe tape. For my entire like pointe career, I struggled with blisters, bruised toenails. Those were so painful. I had to go to the doctor one time to get them cut off because they were literally black. Sorry if this is kind of TMI, but it's a reality. So because all of these blisters and bruised toenails were preventing me from being able to dance because it was just so painful, I decided to try the Perfect Fit Pointe toe pads, and oh my gosh, these have saved me so much. The first time I wore these actually was during my Washington Ballet Summer Intensive, and these were the only reasons I got through hours of pointe. I never got a blister again, I never got a bruised toenail again. The only things that hurt were like the actual muscles in my body and not like anything external. So it was really nice to not have any pain anymore, and like I actually started enjoying pointe, and like the little dancer in me who got her first pointe shoes, that love for pointe kind of sparked up again because of these. So just wanted to mention those. Because these are molded, as you guys can see, these are molded to my feet. If you're new to pointe and you're still looking for your forever shoe, I wouldn't recommend getting these because since these are molded, you would have to buy a brand new kit every single time. So I recommend ouch pouches for any padding other than these, but besides that, get yourself some Perfect Fit Pointe toe pads because these have saved me. So after the Bloch Eurostretch shoes, I switched to Gaynor Minden. My transition from a regular pointe shoe to Gaynor Mindens, I don't remember having too much of a hard time with that, but the only problem I had with these shoes was that they just didn't fit me correctly. As you can see, I had to put an elastic right here. I was having an issue with the width. It didn't really fit me that well. Yeah, and just like, I feel like just the box was just the wrong width and size for me. And also I didn't wear any toe pads in these, and I just wore these. Not really, I don't remember what they're called, but you can buy them with your Gaynor Minden pointe shoes. I didn't wear any toe pads in these because if I did, my foot just didn't fit in them. And also I couldn't wear my Perfect Fit Pointe toe pads. And on top of that, these shoes didn't fit me correctly. So as a result, I got terrible blisters. Sometimes I would have to dance in flat shoes for my rehearsals just because it hurt so bad, and the blisters would just be so bad. Also, the shank was just a little too hard for me. This is the pink bag, so that's like the medium shank, but I did really like Gaynor Minden, so I wanted to give them a second chance. So while I was at ABT New York, I went over to the Gaynor Minden boutique and I got fitted for a new pair of shoes. So that brings us to the pointe shoes that I wear today. So I wear Gaynor Mindens, and I absolutely love these shoes. These shoes fit me so well, and I have almost little to no twist in these shoes actually. They just fit me so well. I've been wearing these for about a year now, and I got a softer shank and I realized that I prefer a softer shoe. And also I got perfect fit point toe pads to go with these shoes, so I haven't had a problem with blisters or anything. So yeah, I just love my Gaynor Mindens. They fit me so well. Here, I just wanted to show you guys this. This is actually my second pair. I just have two of these shoes in rotation. This is the Pianissimo shank and this is the Feather Flex, so this one's slightly harder. But these shoes I just wear in rotation. I wore these for my senior year Nutcracker. And yeah. So yes, those are all of my pointe shoes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love watching videos about pointe shoes, so I hope you guys loved this. I hope you found this video helpful in some way, and if you want any more pointe shoe videos, give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below too. So yes, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to see more content from me. Hit the like button if you want to support me. Leave a comment down below because I love talking to you guys, and I'll see you all later. Bye.
So don't test me, I don't want things to get messy, yeah. Drop down and leave your ass empty, yeah. Like I just wanna hit delete. Come and test me, hit you with that smite.